1864 kilohertz. Name here is Steve. QTH is Shelby, North Carolina. So if you'd like to check in, join the roundtable, give me a call.
KO4CTM. W4JPL.
Alright, I think I heard Jim there, KO4CTM, a little bit below me. Cygnus AM has to zoom in on you. But I heard you, and heard John, via 4JPL. Anybody else? Check in now.
WB4NKL.
Hello, Cliff. Anybody else?
Alrighty, KO4CTM in the group, W4JPL. Good evening to everyone and all. Jim, I think you might want to put a different microphone on that. Maybe Steve got a better handle. It sounds kind of, there's no lows in it. I think that's what it is. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. And Steve on the multi-LMAX, the B+, yeah, I have the receiver hooked up to my Johnson mobile transmitter, and that's how I switch it when I go to transmit. I just cut the B+ off. So it works. Over to you, Cliff, WB4NKL in the group, W4JPL.
W4JPL, it's WB4NKL. Okay, John. Congratulations on the DX100. Sounded pretty good, Jim. And yeah, I couldn't. Your signal was a little down, so I couldn't really say on the audio quality, but sounded like it might have had more highs in it. I had a pretty nice day here. It got up to 61, I think. A lot better than yesterday. We had good weather down at the Hamfest, but back home yesterday evening it was kind of cool and windy and rainy. but it come out of it today. Did get another 4.5 miles in. Had so that turned out good. Steve, I don't know. I guess that LMAC power supply that was just made for the base PS2 is probably a little better supply as far as filtering and everything. Mobile, I think, they a lot of people, I guess they sold a lot of them without power supplies. People run dynamotors with dropping resistors for the low voltage, and I'd say all kinds of schemes back in the day. But I guess for mobile, probably did a pretty good job. I was running that LMAC today on the net, but just a standard 1070 probably could detect some hum in it. I need to wire it up on a different power supply, I guess, and or modify that one like you did, add a choke to it. But yeah, I guess just jumping up the filtering puts some more of a delay in that transmitter rundown time. N4LQ, WB4NKL.
WFTO. Hey, good evening. I just got everything warmed up by now. Stepped in here a little bit late. Anyway, you both are like 20 over 9. Steve, you may be a little bit higher, and it was a pretty good net today, and enjoyed it. So back to you, and then I'll keep in the rotation. I don't know who else is here. And 4LQ, this is WF2U.
Okay, well, it's me, and CTM, and then JPL, and then NKL, and then F2U, and then back to me again. Let's check, see if anybody else wants to check in. Call now. Well, Jim, I didn't notice anything. I guess if your signal was stronger, I could tell more, but I think you're using a D104, and naturally it's not going to be real bassy, so I wouldn't expect much of anything in that regard. But yeah, you just need to do a little work on the antenna situation. I think once you get rid of that bell, put in ladder line, and then shore them together and feed it as a random length antenna, I think it'll do pretty good, really. Maybe. I can do that here on my loop and see what happens. I think I tried it one time. It's, of course, a bit of an impedance conundrum for the tuner, so I don't know if my auto tuner would be able to handle that or not. Maybe not. I may have to get out I've got just a pi type tuner. It might be able to handle it. But sounds like your DX100 is working. Cliff, yeah, the PS2 power supply, it's got a choke in it too. Choke input filter. Under the situation where it's on the input, where your filtering is on the input side of the relay, like I tried to do, when you open the relay, it's like the capacitor and the choke combined want to continue discharging through the relay, and you get a green arc. I mean, it's like a welding torch, and it holds itself on for, you let off and you see the relay open up, and you can just see this arc go like that. You think, oh no, it's never going to end. So you flip the push to talk and get it calmed down, and it'll stop. Now, when I switch to low power, that doesn't happen. And what that does is just bypass the choke, takes the choke, it puts the choke in. I'm sorry, I got it backwards. It puts the choke in, lowering the voltage, and we don't get the arc. But with the choke out of there, that capacitor doesn't want to let the relay doesn't want to turn loose of the relay contact. So I don't know. The PS2 has much less capacitance, I'm sure. I've got two 150s in series, so I've got 75 microfarads, which is really high, and maybe if I lower those it would help. The whoop isn't really what bothers me. I can live with that, but when I let off the push to talk, my plate current slams over to full for a split second, then drops back down. Just takes a big surge, and I don't think that's too good. But that does not happen in the low voltage position where the filter choke is in line. Very interesting situation. Just striving for perfection, and I'm sure there's probably a cure for it. I tried putting a bleeder resistor of 25K, just strapped it in there real quick with alligator clips, and it didn't do anything at all, except get a hot resistor. The KO4CTM N4LQ.
N4LQ in the group. Very good, Steve. Yeah, this is, I picked up this DX100 from Tony, K4QE, and also picked up the National NC183D from him yesterday. So my understanding is that this thing has quite a few modifications to it, which I'm not exactly sure what all was modified, but so it could be, I am using a D104 Silver Eagle, but it could be that there's a problem with the phasing with perhaps something that was modified, so I'm not sure. But anyway, it's the first time it's been on the air with me, so I just wanted to throw it on here and see how it was doing. So anyway, on to you, John, W4JPL, this is KO4CTM.
All right, KO4CTM in the group, W4JPL. 5 visits, Jim. I don't have too much to report here. Didn't do a lot this weekend except the normal stuff. Went to church today. I'll tell you what, though. I worked a bunch of stations on 10 meters a day on FT4, which is digital, of course, and I was working Japan. Worked a half a dozen stations in Japan and down in Brazil and all kinds of stuff. And I'm thinking, yeah, I had that big fancy beam up there, and I was working a lot of stuff, and now all I got's this stinking dipole, and I'm still working stuff. So you got to wonder if it's worth the effort. Cliff, what'd you buy at the Hamfest? Or what'd you see that was interesting? WB4NKL in the group, W4JPL.
Yeah, W4JPL, WB4NKL. I didn't bring back a whole lot, John. I bought a Heathkit frequency counter for $20. It's a IM2420, which I already had 3 of them, but it's my favorite counter. It's got a input for an external time base, and I run a rubidium standard into that, so it's a pretty accurate counter when you do that. And for $20, it's hard to beat. And talking on the net, and I let it out that I had 4. Now Larry's wanting one of them, so I guess I'll pass it along to him if he wants it, because I don't need 4 actually. Just couldn't pass it up for $20. And let's see, I sold a Heathkit Warrior, and I took a 183D down, but I didn't sell it. Chuck went with me, and he sold a Yaesu FT101. And I guess that was about it. I seen the aircraft version of the R390. I can't remember what the number of it is, but it's a Collins receiver. And I'd seen it down in Lawrenceville. Sort of tempting, but it's like me and John VVC both decided that we didn't need another receiver. So, but it was a nice looking receiver, military version of the 390, made for aircraft. Evidently, it's I'm not even sure what the number of it is. But good ham fest. I guess that's about it. Chuck's going down to Charlotte, so I might ride down to him to the Charlotte ham fest here in a couple of weeks. I guess you'll be coming over to it, John and Steve. Mir, maybe. WF2U, go ahead, Mir. It's WB4NKL.
Yeah, Roger, very good, Cliff. N4LKL, NKL in the group. This is WF2U. Cliff, you're 20 over 9. Nice signal, and Steve was actually picking up to 35 dB over 9 on the NC300 receiver, and the transmitter is the Heathkit DX100B, the usual end-fed half-wave antenna at 45 feet for 150. What am I? I'm distracted. 160 meters. Now, I was just looking at a manual for a receiver that I might be getting, and that kind of distracted me a little bit. Anyway, it was the net was. I mean, everybody was really pretty strong, and I used the Yaesu. I'm almost finished putting together the concept G76. I assembled the front panel already onto the chassis with a meter. I put several knobs on it already, and then net time came, so I just had to stop. And after the net, I went into the house. I had several things to do, but I might finish it by tomorrow because, the bend switch knob is on, nice and shiny. The receiver tuning knob is on. The transmit VFO is on. Knob is on with its dial, and I just have to connect the wires back to the meter terminal, just 2 screws, and the terminal, the termination of the wire, and then I just have to connect it to the power supply and check it out. So hopefully, Tuesday I won't be able to be on the net in the morning because I have a doctor's appointment, a routine thing, but I'll just miss it because they gave me the appointment at 9 o'clock. So at least it's not far. It's only Landrum, so it's about less than 15 minutes drive. But I don't think, if I didn't have to wait, probably I would be making it towards the end. But I don't think I won't have to wait. There's no such thing there. So that's the story. The Yaesu is the old standby. It always works after I fixed it when I got it, and just took a lot of WD-40 on the connectors and rotary switches and stuff, and it puts out an honest 300 watts from the Yaesu amplifier, the little FL2100B. I wish I had the Z model because that goes down rather to 160. So that's the story. So I guess I don't know who it goes to, whether it goes back to you, Steve, if I'm at the end of the rotation, or you stuck me in the middle, then I don't know who to give it to. So you take it, Steve. N4LQ, WF2U.
Okay. WF2U, and the illustrious gang in 4LQ. Let's see if anybody else would like to check in. Call now. Even after intense listening, I hear nothing. The 3DX100s. This is getting out of hand here. What a night. Well, I would say, Jim, your audio is mostly, there's a big peak up there somewhere around 2,000 cycles, and everything else just kind of flounders around, and it sounds kind of weird. And if it's the same mic that you used on the Viking 1, then we know the trouble's not the mic, because that sounded good. It sounded very natural. So I wonder if that's the case. And, well, let's see. I'm working on the Japanese. Boy, John, I don't know anything about FT4. I haven't tried that. I guess that's downloadable from Frank Taylor's site or somewhere. Maybe it's the same place you get the FT8. I just wonder how much of a conversation you have on that. Is it just, do you get a signal report and like name and rig and stuff, or is it just, I know with FT8 you don't get anything. Software does that for you, but I think FT4 lets you say a few words, and how long does it take to, what's the speed on that? Maybe you can fill us in on it. The Charlotte Hamfest, I didn't realize it. That's almost upon us here. Another couple of weeks. That's 70 miles from here. Pretty good drive, about an hour and 12 minutes. And yeah, I'd kind of like to do that. So I'm going to plan on it. I guess I'll go ahead and log in and get my ticket before it's too late. And I wonder if Chuck and Cliff, are you guys thinking about setting up, trying to sell anything? You going to rent a table or what? A lot of times I don't know, sometimes Brian has a little extra room on his table or something. I may bring one or two radios or something and set them down there somewhere if somebody has some room. Anyhow, watched a couple of interesting videos on YouTube today. Boy, that was exciting. Putting a lawnmower engine in a car. This guy went to the junkyard and bought a MG, a 1970 MG, and the engine was bad, so he ripped that out and got one of those Chinese lawnmower engines that are pretty cheap. You can get them at Harbor Freight. I think it was 18 horsepower, and he managed to get that in there and hooked it up, and it's a stick shift, so all he needed was a throttle. Well, that thing was doing good. They took off on a gravel road, throwing gravels everywhere, and he was getting up close to 40 miles an hour, something like that, at full speed. It just sounded like a lawnmower going down the road. And somebody else decided to put one in a little pickup truck, and he was doing about the same, you know. And I'm sure it's probably does pretty good on gas. It'd be okay for around town, I suppose. Over to you, Jim. KO4CTM in 4LQ. you don't got no audio, boy. I could barely hear something, but it wasn't audible. Oh well, keep working on it. Go ahead, John.
W4JPL here. I could not hear Jim that time, and I'm like probably less than 10 miles from him. That's frightening. I don't know what you did, Jim. Undo it. Fine business. Well, Cliff, if you're going to Charlotte, let me know. I can bring those that Morrow and that VFO and that night kit receiver. And Steve, if you're going to go, I'll bring that transmitter. And I'll just bring him down to Charlotte with me so you can let me know about that. And yeah, I'm hoping to find an amplifier that'll go on 160, maybe fuel my Ranger. I'll eventually get this van on, but that's 125 watts carry. I'm hoping to be able to do something a little gooder than that. So that's probably the goal for me the next 3 or 4 months. WB4NKL in the group, W4JPL.
Yeah, W4JPL, it's WB4NKL. Okay, John. Chuck, if he comes, I'll probably come with him. Unless he backs out, I'll probably be there. But I hadn't planned on going, and he said he was planning on driving over, so I'll drive over to keep him company. And I don't guess we'll try to get a table or anything, Steve. It's probably too late for that. I don't know. But if I bring anything, I'll probably do like what you've done, maybe set it on somebody else's table. I might bring one item. And let's see, good deal on the 18 horsepower lawnmower engine. That's I guess that sets a new low for horsepower in a vehicle. I know the old early Volkswagens were like 36 or something. Of course, older cars I'm sure was lower, but I guess in modern times that's a low horsepower. Hopefully, it gets good gas mileage out of it. I remember the old J.C. Whitney catalogs. They had adapter kits. You could put about any brand motor into any other vehicle. You could order a kit to put a Chevy motor in a Ford, or a Ford motor in a Chevy, or Oldsmobile ambulance engine into something. And a lot of that went on back in the 60s. But yeah, it'd be interesting to know what kind of mileage you got out of the deal. Probably all right for running around town in these traffic jams. You don't get over about 10 miles an hour anyway. Go ahead, Mayor, WF2U, WB4NKL. I wonder if you hadn't tried the Yazoo on 160. Of course, you said the amp wouldn't go.
Very good. N4NKL and the net. This is WF2U. Well, at least I can copy John, but I guess nobody copied KO4CTN. I copied John. You are not too strong about S7 to 8. About 100% copy. No static. No contest. It's pretty relaxing around here. And so who else has the DX100? Is that Jim that is not audible or something, or has a problem? I didn't get him from the beginning, so I don't know who's using another one. Anyway, so nothing much. Tomorrow I'm busy. Almost the whole day. I'm getting a little jab in my spine, a little bit of a nerve block, and because it's been bothering me for a while. And after that, I'll probably I know they'll tell me not to bend and not to do much for the rest of the day. So that's about at 3 o'clock. So I can take an afternoon nap after I get home or something. But anyway, we had a pretty chilly morning this morning. It was 28 degrees, and it never went up above 54. And what else? Nothing much that I can report about. So it goes to back to you, I guess, Steve. N4LQ. This is WFTU.
Okie dokie, N4LQ. Yeah, I just spent $13 on a ticket to the Charlotte Hamfest. PayPal. So my order has been received. One ticket, shipping to me. Okay. Should be here in a few days, I guess. That's pretty slick. Sure beats trying to buy a ticket for the Shelby Hamfest. Or at least for the flea market. I could have bought, let's see, $13, another $12 for the table, which it, I guess, these days. Can't complain about that. $12 and then $1 for shipping. So that is done. Yeah. So, John, if you are coming, that would be great. Bring the 150. What's this about a receiver? Was it a night kit receiver? Not an R100. No, I hope not. I was kind of looking for one of those. But anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. I don't know why I need another T150. I'd like to find an A model. I know they made them, and I know that's what John KZ4B has. But I only hope my audio sounds as good as his. So, anyhow, yeah, lawnmower. Well, you know, just for getting around town, it's kind of low power is really all you need. And this guy that did that, he lived kind of out in the country, but I think the speed limit was only 40 or 45 or something like that, so he was okay just putting around with that thing. It's kind of funny though, he had to raise the hood and pull a rope starter to get it started. He didn't even put an electric starter on that motor. Let's see, that motor was pretty expensive. I forgot what it said, but I think it was around $1,000 or something like that for the engine. I was looking at my Grasshopper lawnmower uses an 18-horse Kohler, and I was looking online the other day when I needed to order the belt and stuff. I found an engine kit, and if your engine blows up, you can just buy this Honda engine, and it comes with the engine and all the mounting assembly and nuts and bolts and levers and everything you need to install it. $3,000 for that. Oh well, I guess it's. I think the tractor is about $10,000 new nowadays, so maybe it's a good idea. I don't know. Over to you, Jim. Let's see if you've made any progress. KO4CTM, N4LQ, and yes, you're on the DX100 mirror. That's the three of them. You and Cliff and Jim. Go ahead, Jim.
KO4CTM. Okay, all right. Are you picking me up now?
You got audio, yeah. You're back to square one.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to, obviously got some work to do, but at the end of the day, this is, like I said, this is the first time I've thrown this thing on the air, so, you know, I need to probably hook it up to the scope and look at the modulation and whatnot and see what's going on with it. But to answer the question from the last round, which nobody heard, this is a different mic. So the mic that I usually use with the Viking, I guess, was not wired correctly for the heat kit. So this different mic. It's a D104 Silver Eagle, but it's different than the one I normally use. So know whether it's a mic or it's something else. But we'll take a look at it and see what's happening. So anyway, and the other thing I was going to say was that I am going to try to make Charlotte. So I'll see about trying to get my ticket as well. But anyway, I'll say 7-3s for the evening, and everybody just have a great evening. And hope to talk to everybody in the morning on 8 meters. So this is KO4CTM. Take it away, John. W4JBL, KO4CTM, Jim and Climax, 7-3.
All right. I hope you have a good evening there, Jim. KO4CTM in the group W4JPL. Probably fine business. I got a good copy on everybody. So I don't have a lot to add here myself, and I'm actually looking at hotels for Sevierville. I think I'm going to be able to make that, so see what I can find. I'm going to say 73. God bless. Have a great night, guys. And I'm sure I'll talk to you fellers in the morning. Over to you, Cliff, WB4NKL in the group, W4JPL, 73.
W4JPL is WB4NKL. Okay, John, I'll let you know about Charlotte before that comes along, and you'll know whether to bring my stash or not. And 73s to you. And Jim, I didn't, I had some kind of, I don't know, was it on my end or what? I had some kind of noise. I couldn't copy very little of that flash transmission. Steve said you had audio, but I couldn't say yes or no here. But it might just be some kind of local something I had that go around. It started to rain here again. I didn't think we were supposed to get that, but I'm hearing some rain on the roof. Let's see, I don't have much more. I'll send it on around again. Go ahead, Mayor WF2U, WB4NKO. I'm not on I'm running the Globe King 500 tonight. I'm not on the DX100. So go ahead, Mayor.
Yeah, Cliff, WB4NKL, WF2U. You're actually peaking up to 20 over S9 this time. And I heard Jim, but I couldn't make out what he was saying. I heard a little bit of audio over the noise. The noise is only S4 here. And 73, John, and have a good night. Take care. And we'll probably hear you tomorrow if you join us tomorrow. So take care, and 73. Anyway, Stephen, regarding that that MG with the lawnmower engine, this is not the only video that I saw on that same subject. I've seen a lot actually that people are putting all kinds of small engines in bigger cars and driving it away and doing all kinds of modifications to accommodate it. And I even saw somebody that left the engine in. It's a mid-sized car. I forgot what it was, but it was an American car. And yanked out the carburetor. And, it was one of the older cars before didn't have fuel injection. It had a regular car. And put a lawnmower carburetor in it, and compared speed, acceleration, and fuel consumption. And he got down to ridiculous fuel consumption, but of course his acceleration was completely dismal. And he couldn't get much above 55 miles an hour either. But, again, something like that, I guess you can drive around town in traffic and all that, and it won't make any difference, except a new pocket with better fuel consumption. So anyway, that's the story from here. But anyway, so back to you, Steve. N4LQ, WF2U.
Anybody else want to check in? Okay, this is N4LQ. Well, you know, I know that video, Mayor. That's Thunderhead 289. I've watched him. That guy's interesting, and he explains everything he does. And that's a Maverick. I don't know, 70-something, I guess, Maverick. It's in kind of bad shape, and he's kept it going. And he always starts out burning rubber and carrying on. But I watched that, and yeah, it drove pretty well. I mean, it was he lost top end, but he was getting real good gas mileage. I knew a guy back in 1977 that had a van, an old van from back in the 60s, and the rear end went out. He put the rear axle assembly in from some car, and the ratio was way low. You know, it was made for a car, and it was geared, I guess, geared up, as they say. So the engine just loafed along, and it didn't have a lot of, you know, he wasn't going to burn any rubber taking off, but it worked okay. It was a stick shift, and that engine would just idle at 70 miles an hour, and he was getting up into the 30 mile per gallon, you know, plus range in that van, just a boxy old van full of people. So I can't help but wonder that if there isn't ways to make cars more efficient, and it seemed like for a long time they were making progress, you know, back in the 70s with little cheap light cars, and they kept adding more and more safety features and weight and all that, and pollution equipment, and things turned around the other way, and now everything's an SUV, and it weighs 4,000 pounds, and no matter how small it is, and you're doing good to get 25 miles to gallon, maybe a little more on the highway, but something ain't right. Anyway, Jim, I'm not sure what you said, were you checking out or not, but we'll try to turn it over to you again. And I know you can copy okay, and I copied you okay last time. The microphone situation was you're using a different mic. Cliff and Mir, if you didn't copy, he's using a different mic that he does on the Viking 1, and so we're still not sure that's the problem, or if the DX100 is. I guess we'll find out eventually. Of course, if it's a D104, you could just unscrew the head off of it and swap them around, I guess. Over to you, KO4CTM, N4LQ.
N4LQ. KO4CTM, 7-3.
All right, yeah, you were jumping around. The frequency went down a couple, 2 or 3 kc, and then back up and here and there. So yeah, you'll eventually get it worked out. But I don't know. Try another mic first and if that doesn't work, then you got something going on in the audio. I'm not sure what that is. 73 is to you, Jim, and to John. 73 is to you, and I guess that's about all we got here tonight. So we'll go ahead and say 73s. Turn it over to Cliff and Mary and let them do their closing act. Go ahead, Cliff, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve, and Jim, I copied you that time, but it seems like your audio's just not up with where you're. I think I had a pretty good carrier. But the audio just didn't seem to be matching it, but I could copy you that go around. And good deal. I've got a doctor's appointment Tuesday at 9:30, so I'm same boat you are. I'll probably miss the old friends net because it's in Johnson City, and I'll have to leave here before 9 o'clock to make the appointment. Besides for that, I guess pretty well. Let's see. No, that's tomorrow morning. Back up. That's in the morning. I was thinking Tuesday, but the doctor's appointment's in the morning. So I'll probably be on the regular 3885 net for a little while, Steve, and get out early. Tuesday, I think I'm going to go with Billy to pick up those RCA transmitters. That's what we got going Tuesday, so I will miss the net Tuesday also, but we'll make a trip to pick up the RCAs. So 73s, and enjoyed it. Thanks for calling it. We'll try it again. The band's in pretty good shape tonight. Big change from all that stuff I heard Saturday or Friday night. I didn't try it last night. I seen your email with the contest going on. 73s, go ahead, Mayor. WF2U, WB4NKL.
Yeah, very good, Cliff. WB4NKL, WF2U. Yeah, good. Okay, so I wonder what kind of just quickly, what kind of transmitters are those RCA transmitters? Former broadcast, or some commercial, or you have to convert them for ham frequencies or something? I don't know. I'm only familiar with a couple of RCA radio marine transmitters, but not the broadcast division product. Anyway, so 73, and have a good night, and take care, and give it back to Steve. In the meantime, 73 to you, Steve, also, and take care. We'll be here tomorrow night. N4LQ. Just a second. Cliff, can you just jump back again? Tell me briefly about the RCA transmitters.
Okay, Mary. Those are the ones that Brian was trying to find a home for from a radio station in Charlotte. Kilowatt RCAs. I believe they're BTA1Ms, or I believe it's a model 833. A pair of 833s modulated by a pair of 833s, and he didn't want them to go to the same place, so Billy's taking one of them, and I'm going to take the other. And I don't have any idea on how much difficulty there'll be to convert. I've never messed with RCA transmitters. I've had some experience with the Collins and the Gates, but I think the RCA, they tune the tank coil. It's got fixed plate tuning capacitors. So I don't know. It might be difficult to move. I don't know, but we're going to give it a try anyway. 73s, it's WB4NKL, now clear.
Very good, thanks. Okay, yeah, all right. Thanks and good luck with them. Enjoy another project. Anyway, so go ahead, Steve, N4LQ, WF2U 73, and have a good night. Thanks for running the net.
Okay, guys, yeah, I'm sure why somebody would care if he's getting rid of them. Where they go, I don't know. Takes all kinds, I guess. Well, just what you needed. Another 1,000-pound transmitter. Maybe you'll get one of those on the air here tonight. At night, one of these nights. Anyway, 73s, thanks for coming. Have a good evening. See you next time. This is N4LQ closing VNet.
KO4CTF.